Okay, we are, for these breath and body, they are a new class. We always start with some breathing. So you want to just make sure that you're nice and comfortable so that you can sit for 5 to 10 minutes for our start. So if you're on the floor and you prefer to lift up a little bit onto cushions or just a rolled blanket, you can always do that. If you're happy just cross-legged, then you're absolutely fine. If you prefer to get onto a stool or a chair, you can always take that option. We have a little bit longer at the start. I'm going to strip off my jumper once we get going because that's the trouble, we need to be a bit warmer. All right, so our first one today is going to be about grounding. So we're going to take a mudra with the hands when we're doing our breathing. And I have to look at what it's called because I can never remember. Bhumi Sparsha, if that's how you say it. Bhumi Sparsha Mudra. So that's where you will use your left hand to rest in the lap, palm facing up, and you'll use your right hand. It's like we're grounding our energy here. It probably won't touch the ground, but wrist towards the knee or the leg, wherever it rests. And that'll be the mudra that we take when we're doing the breathing. So you sort of remember that. I will talk you back into it, but just so you know what it looks like, because you might have eyes closed. All right, if you're using the playlist, you can pop that on. And then make your way into whatever comfortable seat you're taking for the start. As you settle there, you can close the eyes. Make any adjustments, movements of the body, settle into the space. And just give yourself a few moments to land here. Don't feel that there is any rush, any need to settle immediately or move into any breath practice. To begin with, we can just observe. Notice how the body's feeling. Notice where you have a sense of comfort or ease through the body, maybe where you feel discomfort or tightness. Be aware of what your mind is doing. If you feel busy with those internal thoughts, maybe you already feel quite settled, just observe. And then bring the awareness more towards the breath. Know that the breath is always there as our anchor through our practice. It doesn't stop the thoughts and the internal chatter, but it gives us a focus. So start to be aware of the breath as it passes in and out of the body, in and out of the nose. Start to gently lengthen the breath. Taking deeper inhales and then a long, steady exhalation. Releasing any tension through the jaw, the shoulders as you breathe out. So we're going to be doing a breathing practice called Viloma breath, which is where we break our inhalation today into 3 parts. So we breathe in, pausing for a second or two. We then continue to breathe in and pause. And we take a final breath in to complete that filling of air. And then we take one long, steady exhalation. So it's all through the nose, breathing in part way, pausing. Breathing in a little bit further. Breathing in all the way to the top. Let your exhale be steady. So working with this breath. You can just treat it as 3 inhales, or you can think about it being up to belly button, up to the chest, and then up to the collarbones as you breathe in. And here, if you would like to take the mudra as you're working on the breath, you can. Left hand just cups into the lap. Right hand, fingertips extend down, wrist rests on the right leg. As you continue with that breathing practice, feel that your left hand is holding the energy that you have. That your right hand is grounding your energy, particularly as you exhale. And take a few more moments. If at any point you want to release either the mudra or your breath, you can just sit naturally, breathe as you want to. After your next full exhalation, just release the mudra, rest both hands on the knees, and then just return to a natural breath pattern. All right, and then when you're ready, gently open the eyes. If you took a different seating position, you can come down to the mats now. So all nice grounding, slow moving poses this morning. So we stay in our easy seat, keep the hands on the knees. And we're just going to roll the body around, so like torso circles. So you lean yourself forward and roll it round to a side. So I always say a couple of ways you can do this. You can keep the spine quite long and straight. You'll find as you lean forward, you feel sensation into the hips. Or you can become a bit more fluid, let the shoulders get involved, let the spine round and arch as you move. Whichever feels best for your body this morning. That's it. And then rather than just reversing the way that you're moving, also reverse the cross of your legs. And then take those circles back in the other direction. Nice and steady, slow movements give us a chance just to tune in to how everything's feeling. Noticing where we find those sticking points, where it moves more freely. And gradually building up a little bit more movement as we go. One more big circle, bringing you back round to center. Nice steady side bends. Take a big inhale to sweep the arms up overhead. Dropping over to your right hand side, walk the hand away from the body a little bit before you soften into the elbow, and then lift the left arm up and over. Yeah, feel like your left hip is glued down to the mat, and that opening is through the rib cage and that space below your lowest ribs in your hip. Lifting back up to center, take an inhale, both arms overhead. And then side bend to the left, walk that left hand away before you soften into it. Create as much space through your right hand side as you can. And then bring yourself back up. Spin round onto all fours. Remove any blankets or cushions that you had. Be aware of how we connect through the palms and through the tops of the feet. Finding our stability before the breath moves us through our cat and cows. So dropping the belly down, lifting the gaze, take a big inhale through the nose. And then exhale through the nose, pushing the earth away, rounding the spine, opening through your back body. And then as you move through these two poses nice and slowly, if you want to rock backwards and forwards, just find a little sense of, how that changes where you feel it in the body. Sometimes it's quite nice to stretch a little bit more through the shoulders, or a little bit through the arms, the wrists. So it's cat and cow with the breath, but we're a little bit more fluid and free in our movements. Take a couple more each way. When you next come back to a neutral spine, shuffle yourself a tiny bit back on the mat for your puppy dog pose. Grounding and a chest opener. So you're walking your hands forward towards the top corners of your mat. Bring the body down, leave the hips up over the knees. If you can, forehead to the mat. If you want to go a little bit deeper, chin to the mat. And keep a little bit of drawing in of the belly, so it's not so much a back bend, it's a chest opener. Let that sensation work through the front of the body, through the underarms. If it pinches in the shoulders, widen the arms or bend the elbows a little. Couple more easy breaths here. And from our puppy dog pose, we're coming forward into Sphinx. So if you need to lift up onto hands and knees, you can do just that way, or you may just be able to slide forward onto the belly. When you land on your belly, bring the arms out in front, elbows roughly under shoulders. They can be a little bit further forward if that feels nicer for your back. The closer in they are, the more you're going to take a back bend. So release through the feet. Draw the heart through between the upper arms. Push elbows down into the earth. Let that drive the energy up through the crown of the head. Find space between shoulders and ears. And if this feels nice, just staying in stillness, you're very welcome to stay here. Or there's the option to cat and cow through the spine. And to do that, you just take a breath in your Sphinx pose. As you breathe out, you drop chin down to chest. And just round the back a little way. It may lift up towards the belly button, maybe slightly further. As you breathe in, belly softens down, chest draws through, gaze lifts. Exhale, chin to chest, picking up the belly button, rounding through the upper back. So you have a few breaths either to remain in stillness in your Sphinx pose or to gently cat and cow your spine. Take one more breath wherever you are. Return into your Sphinx pose if you were moving through the spine. From there, everybody can lower down. Just bring the hands to fold in front of the face so you can rest the forehead down. Let go of any effort through the back of the body. And then moving nice and slowly, place the hands down underneath the shoulders. Push yourself back through all fours. Widen the knees as you go. Sink the hips back to the heels and drop into your child's pose. So keep the arms extended forward. Maybe as you land here, just walk the fingertips as far forward as they can. Create that nice lengthening through the spine. And then be aware of where you can settle, where you can ground here. So through the palms, we have that connection with the earth. Maybe through the forehead, pressing the location of the third eye. And then through the lower body. Lower legs are pressing into the earth, but let the hips feel heavy as well. A few breaths here. Staying with that child pose, but building the stretch through the sides of the body. We take that lovely extension over to the side. So lift up onto the fingertips. Walk the hands over to the right-hand side off your mat. As you settle the palms down, feel as if you're dragging the floor back towards you and send the hips as close to that left heel as you can. And then again, breathe into the side. Create space through the ribs. Do the same over to the left-hand side. So lifting up to fingertips, walk yourself through center. Over to the left, connect through the palms, draw everything back towards you. Hips to the right heel. Bring yourself back to center. Lifting up through all fours, just bring the knees underneath the body, and from here we spin ourselves round for legs to come out in front. All right, head to knee pose first. We're moving into this one slowly to find some length through our left hamstring. So tuck the right foot in towards the inner thigh. Bring the hands down either side of the left leg. Lift those left toes up. If you need to adjust, move any fleshy parts out from underneath. Make sure you can sit nice and tall. Always the option of a blanket under the hips. So take an inhale here, lift up through the chest. And then walk yourself forward with a long spine just to that point that you start to feel sensation through the back of the left leg. You may still be up here and be feeling it. No need to go any further, just enough that you create that length through the back of the leg. Take a couple of breaths. Be aware of how you connect to the earth through the left sit bone, through the left heel. Inhale to lift the chest a little way. Maybe inch your fingertips further forward. Pausing here, take another couple of breaths. And then lift yourself back up. From there, place your right foot over the left leg to take a half lord of the fisher's twist. So you want to be able to root down into this right foot. Make sure it's pressing down into the earth on that other side of the leg. Sit nice and tall. Hug this right knee into the body. If that feels enough to avoid the twist, but to sit nice and upright, you can stay there. Otherwise, use the left arm to keep hugging that knee in and bring the right hand behind you. So you're twisting to turn to the right. And then use your next breath in to sit as tall as you can, shoulders over the hips. Your exhale maybe moves you slightly deeper into the twist. And you can gaze to the side or you can turn the head to look back over the right shoulder. And keep rooting down through the sit bones, pressing into that right foot, sending energy from tailbone up through the crown of the head. And then unravel yourself. We'll take the other side. So right leg out in front, left foot into the inner thigh, head to knee pose first. Adjust, make sure you connect. We're always grounding through these poses. Fingertips either side of the right leg. Lift as you breathe in. Walk yourself forward only as far as necessary to get that stretch through the right leg. Pause when you're there. Breathe deeply. Take another little inhale to rise up through the chest. Drop through the belly first, maybe inch the hands slightly further forward. And then lift yourself all the way back up for that half lord twist. So left foot over the thigh, root down as much as you can. Keep pushing into the big toe, the inner side of that foot. Hug the left knee in towards you. You can always stay here or use the right arm to keep anchoring in against that left knee and then bring the left hand behind. Lengthen up through the spine as you breathe in and move into the twist as you breathe out. Head can turn as far as feels comfortable. Lovely. Bring yourself back to center. Okay, unravel the legs. Spin them around behind you. Return to your all fours. Using the right foot to stretch out. Step the right foot behind you. Anchor the toes down towards the mat. And then push your weight back. So press into the palms and push that right heel as far away down the mat as you can. Sometimes you have to create a little bit of grip through those toes, but find as much stretch through the back of the right leg as you can. Ease your body weight back forward. Keep that right foot where it is and lift yourself up into a downward dog. Pedal the feet out. Be aware of that energy being sent from the palms up towards the tailbone and from the balls of the feet up towards the tailbone. Take a couple of breaths. And then from there, drop the knees down to the mat. Step the right foot through between the hands. Set up for your lunge. So make sure that front foot is underneath the front knee. Send it further forward if you need to. When you're there and you're stable, bring the arms up. We have a mix of energies here, rooting and rising. So root down into the feet, into the lower left leg. Send a weight from the waist downwards. Also the shoulders, drop them down towards the earth, but find a rise of energy through the crown of the head and through the fingertips. Take a nice big inhale here. As you exhale, cactus the arms away, open through the chest, and then swirl them back round and up. So the inhale, we lift. The exhale, we let go, drop back. One more big inhale. Exhale. Lovely. Inhale to reach up. Bring the hands down to the floor. Frame that front foot. Tuck your back toes and lift the knee. And either in one step or a few little bobs of the foot, bring yourself forward into your forward fold. Nice soft knees. Legs don't have to be straight. Let the head hang down. We're going to roll ourselves up, starting from the bottom of the spine, but begin by rooting down into the feet. Little softness through the knees. Start to lift low belly and draw the body up. Head and shoulders can hang forward. Keep the legs strong. Let the energy rise up as you do. And you get to the top, loop the shoulders back. Find your mountain pose. Connect through the feet. Your next inhale sweeps the arms up overhead. Bring the hands down to heart center. Keep your left foot rooting down to the earth and lift your right foot into tree pose. Take time getting there. Make sure that left leg is stable, is your foundation, is rooting down before you lift your right leg up. Remember, your right foot can stay down. You may keep the toes down, a little bit more stable. Work on opening the knee. Or you can press into inner thigh, inner calf or inner thigh. Just avoid the knee. That's it, couple more breaths. And then with as much control as you can, stay rooting through that left foot. Start to hover the right leg back behind you. Send it as far back on your mat as you can as it connects. Root strongly through the right toes. When you get there, sweep the arms up. Find your full crescent lunge. So again, energy down through the legs. It's like from your waist and down, there's a drawing of energy that way. From the waist and up, we reach, but we also soften the shoulders down the back. Lovely. Breathing in here. As you breathe out, drop the right heel in, turn to your right, open into your warrior two. Set up your feet so that your front heel aligns with the arch of your back foot. Drop into that front knee. Check that shoulders, or rather hips, are underneath the shoulders. So if you're leaning forward or dropping back, try and just level out. That's it. Drop the shoulders down, gaze over your front fingers. Find strength and stability here, but softness as you breathe. Lovely. Inhale, reverse. And then windmill the hands back over that left foot. We're not going too far, we're just getting ourselves back to a kneeling position for the other side. So drop yourself down, reset your tabletop position. Moving on to the left leg, so send it back. Toes connect with the floor. Push your body weight back. Send that left heel as far away as you can. Breathe into the back of the left leg. Bring your body weight back forward. Keep the left toes as they are. Lift your hips up high. Return to a downward dog. That's it. Little pedal of the legs. Reconnect to that sense of rooting through hands, through feet, sending energy to meet at the tailbone. And then we drop the knees to the mat, step the left foot through between the hands, Adjust it as necessary to make sure that front foot is far enough forward. Knees and feet are on train tracks. Hips stay square. Sweep the arms up overhead. Find your low crescent lunge. Lovely. Energy through fingertips. Strong upper body, but dropping it down. Cactus arms, big inhale. Cactus the arms away as you breathe out. Use your inhale to sweep back up. Make it as fluid as you can, couple more times. Lovely. Inhale to lift. Hands to the floor as you exhale. Pick up your back knee. Step it forward or take a few little bounces. Allow yourself to drop into that forward fold. Softness through the knees, but a little rising lift through the sit bones. Press down into your feet as you start to lift the body up. Picking up from the low belly first, unraveling through the spine. Arriving at the top and looping the shoulders back as you land in your mountain pose. Sweep the arms up and overhead with an inhale. Bring hands back to heart center. Press into your right foot. Find that stability. And when you're there, bring left foot into tree. Send all your awareness down through that right leg and foot. You're pressing the earth away. Lovely. Start to float the left foot back so we stay pressing into the right leg. Send it back as far as you can as you connect. Lift the body, sweep the arms up. High crescent lunge. Keep the tailbone drawing down, heart lifting a little way. One more breath. And then from there, drop the left heel in, open into your warrior two, facing the left. Keep shoulders above the hips. Extend beyond visible fingertips, drop the shoulders down. And remember the feet, we're rooting down, so press into the feet, press into your mat. Use your next inhale to reverse your warrior. And then windmill hands back over that front foot. All right, moving around from here, we're going to go into a wide-legged forward fold. So you're going to walk to the left-hand side of your mat. As you turn, flip your toes in front of your heels. Stay up on your fingertips. So if you need to widen your stance at all, you can, but make sure toes point forward. Take an inhale to lift through the chest, find that flat spine. Feel a lift of your tailbone, and then as you forward fold, keep that lift through the tailbone. So it's like the hips are tipping your body forward. Come forward into that fold. If you want to try that once more with the breath, to come up halfway. Lift the chest, lift the tailbone, and then waterfall the body back forward into a fold. Crown of the head reaches down, press through the feet, tip the weight into the balls of the feet. Lovely, come up halfway. With that halfway lift, turn your heels back in, start to send your hips down, lift your body up, find your squat. Yeah, so as you lift, knees go wide, goddess squats, heavy through the tailbone, rooting into the feet. Lovely, come back up. Hands to the hips, we're taking it back down into a forward fold. Turn your toes in front of heels, take an inhale. And then hinge and fold yourself forward. Return back down into that full wide-legged forward fold. Weight into the balls of the feet. Hands can release to the earth. Come back up to halfway. You're walking yourself back round to the top of your mat. You're coming back into a lunge. Take the hands inside the right foot. We're stepping forward into our malasana, our Hindi squat. So left foot comes forward outside of the left hand. Sink your hips down. Find your squat. This is where we say if you have blocks to hand or a stool, if this ever gets too much, you can always use a support, make it easy, press elbows into the knees. Find an easier sense of a squat. So if you ever want a little rest, have your blocks or a stool to hand. We're not here for too long today though. So if you want to move around into it, you can, or just get that sense of grounding. Tailbone, root chakra, nice and close to the earth. Couple of breaths. Bring fingertips to the earth. Lift the hips back up, heel toe your feet underneath you. Bend into those knees, inhale, root to rise. We finish with a chair pose for our standing postures. So sink the hips back, keep the low belly drawing in, send your tailbone down towards the earth, shoulders down into socket. Weight is in the heels. A few slow and steady breaths here. Last strong standing pose. Well done. On your next inhale, stand all the way up. Gaze to the thumbs, palms together. Hinge and fold forward as you breathe out. Soft knees. Halfway lift. Step yourself back into downward dog. Move nice and slowly. Final chance just to lengthen through spine, through the backs of the legs. And then bring knees to the mat. Lovely. Spin yourself around and underneath. All right, from here, we roll ourselves down to the mat. So take an inhale, lift the palms, lift the chest. Roll yourself down nice and slowly. When you reach the earth, set up for your bridge pose. So walk the feet in towards the hips. Keep them about hip width apart. Lift and lower your tailbone to set yourself up. Arms down by the sides of the body. Palms down just to give yourself a little bit of support. Be aware already of where we press into the earth, all four corners of the feet, through the palms, through the shoulder blades, back of the head. So take an inhale here. As you exhale, press into all those areas. Tilt your tailbone up and pick up your hips. Hold it there at the top. Be so aware of the soles of the feet, the shoulders. Press into the palms. Draw your knees and thighs in towards the midline. And then very slowly lower yourself all the way back down. The hips settle, give yourself a breath or two just to reset. We'll take a bridge pose once more. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, tilt your tailbone up, pick up your hips, press into feet, palms, shoulders, back of the head. Feel a sense of strength where we press down and root into the earth. Let that drive the energy up to lift your hips, strength through the back of the body. One more breath here. And then again, slowly lowering down. When the hips reach the earth, draw the knees into the chest, hug them in. You can take movement here if you want to. Just be aware of the back body pressing down into the earth. From there, keep hold of your right knee or shin and lengthen the left leg long. Let go of everything apart from that drawing in of the right knee. Left leg's heavy, shoulders drop back. Slowly bring that left knee back in towards the body. Swap your hold. So holding the left knee and shin. Send the right leg long. Again, let go. Let the right leg be heavy. Soften through the left hip. Draw the right knee back in, one hand on each knee, squeeze them in. If you want to take happy baby or any other poses, please feel free to do so. And then make your way into your Shavasana. Whatever works for you today, a pose that lets you feel supported by the earth. Find a sense of release, of letting go, of being heavy. Soften where you can. Embrace that sense of stillness and weight. Take your Shavasana. Start to gently bring your awareness back into your space, into your physical body. You can deepen your breath. And then bring small movements back, fingers and toes, hands and feet. Let that movement spread into the rest of the body. That's it. Lovely. Stretching, doing what you need before you slowly bring yourself back to that seated position. You can settle there with hands on the knees or in the lap. Your eyes are closed. Your breath is always there as your anchor, whether you are on your mats or busy in your day. Sometimes it's just a conscious breath is all that's needed. So know that you can return to it at any point. Let's close our practice with one more breath, breathing in to reach the arms above the head. Breathing out as palms come together. And take thumbs to forehead for kind thoughts, to the lips for kind words, and to the heart for kind actions. Thank you all for joining me this morning. Namaste.